Hi, I'm Ella, and today we're going to dive into the wonderful world of Splendent Vale. We're going to craft with a magical substance called materia, hone our skills in artifice, and get to know the characters of the Artisans of Splendent Vale. Artisans of Splendent Vale is a cooperative adventure game for 2 to 4 players for ages 14 and up. It's designed by the wonderful Nikki Valance and published by Renegade Games. This is a story-driven game. The campaign narrative unravels through a sort of choose-your-own-adventure style type book. There will be a lot of reading, and you will be given choices in the book. For example, it will give you decisions like chase down the bandits before they go too far, or let the bandits go for now. And your decision affects what happens next in the game. There will be similar passages in the book shared among characters, but sometimes there will be passages unique to a character, and it will be indicated by a symbol. So whilst there is a chosen narrator, often characters will have to share what is in their own books. It's important to get to know the characters before choosing, as you will be playing with them throughout the continuing storyline in the game. You're going to do a lot of exploring, crafting, and fully immerse yourself in the world of Splendent Vale. So let's learn about the fabulous unique characters Javi, Soraya, Harinya, and Farah by looking at the character books each one has. Their bios will be at the back of the book. Javi is able to view memories of people and objects he touches. He is a tinkerer, and his goal is to create better prosthetics for those who need them. Soraya engraves Masonic runes into weapons and tools to make them more powerful. Soraya can do this well because she can sense the emotions of objects she touches. Harinya can brew potions and mixtures that helps keep her team members energized. She can also talk to animals. She is also small. She can slip into tight spaces, very handy in dangerous situations. Farah is a talented tailor. Z can hear the voices of plants and makes use of Zer athletic prowess to reach places others aren't able to. The game focuses on cooperation, so after choosing, it's great to tell other people about your character so you have a sense of how you'll work together. Each character book also tells you how to set up your character, as each one is unique. For example, Soraya starts the campaign with her mother's hammer and the sigiled shield, which you grab from the card index box. This is a great time to talk about the character sheets. Each character gets them, and it details all the potions you have, the damage and traumas you sustain during action scenes, the things you can do during action scenes, and crafting abilities unique to each character. I will talk about that in detail later on. Now back to Soraya. She also prepares her interlude deck, so the whole campaign takes many hours to complete and plays over the course of multiple sessions. It is recommended that you end the session at the end of the day. On most days, after completing an adventure, you will be asked to draw an interlude card. Soraya takes her cards 980 to 987, sets aside 980 and then shuffles the rest, then places 980 on top. So when she starts the adventure, that will be the first card they draw. Cards will either tell you to read passages in the book or let you craft. And since I brought up crafting, let's talk about this wonderful aspect of the game. You play as artisans using and manipulating materia, which is the substance that you have found after meteor showers. Crafting using materia has ushered an industrial revolution in Splendent Vale. When you open up the character sheets, it will show you the ways that the characters craft with materia. This is the primary way to acquire new equipment to use on your adventures. Farah is focused on tailoring, which most commonly results in armor. During adventures and interludes, you will be inspired by things you see. You're going to document them on your inspiration board on your sheet. They come in the form of stickers, which will reveal 2-digit numbers, which then refer to cards in the index. There will be certain phrases you need to take note of also, because there are an amazing slew of things that you will discover throughout the game. Harinya crafts potions by spending 1 materia and 2 other ingredients. For example, I use new tail and worm root, and they result in potion 701. You then read that entry in your book, and it tells you how many and what kind of potion you've made. Soraya is focused on runes, which helps enhance equipment and unlock unique skills. During adventures and interludes, you will add new runes to your rune dictionary. You check if a piece of equipment can harbor a rune. When allowed, you choose the weapon or trinket, read the entry indicated on the back of the card, then choose one option for upgrading it. Javi creates new weapons and trinkets. He spends components to fill in the corresponding nodes in their skill grid. When a full circuit is closed, they get the card from the index. Now, Heavy is unique. Their personal advancement and crafting is one and the same. Other characters use the experience they've gained during the adventure or trainings to progress through their advancement grid. This represents their potential as a person. You spend your experience and fill in the nodes on your grid. Then, when you fill in a skill node, you get that card from the index. If you already have the card, you advance that skill instead. Some paths are locked, as shown by the dotted lines, and can only be unlocked during your adventures or interludes. As you can see, a large part of the game is about exploration. You're going out in the world to advance your personal skill sets, making tough decisions as the story unfolds, and often on these adventures, you will be presented by illustrations of the place you explore. On these maps are numbers that represent points of interest that are in all of the books. Often they're accompanied by shared text, but again, there will be times when there are personal entries that you share with the group. You also have to keep track of all the things you've seen and experienced. One way is filling in your adventure log. You will be told to record specific phrases during the game. Sometimes you're also told to record a phrase on your own personal sheet. These affect only you and your decisions. Another way to keep track is through the world map. It shows you where you've been and what you'd like to explore in the future. I've said that a large part of the game is reading, but that does not mean in any way that the game is passive. Not only do you choose the path you will go through, but there are also action scenes. And this happens nearly every adventure. These are fast-paced segments which might include combat, a chase sequence, or running for your lives. You will open the action scene book, and a specific scene will detail special rules that apply in that scene. It tells you how many you place on the map, where they are, and once you're going through the action scene, who gets to do their actions and in what sequence. The game focuses on cooperation, and this is represented by a shared dice pool. At the beginning of your turn, you roll 3 dice and add to it. Then you perform 2 actions. The actions you can do are indicated on your action sheet. If there is a symbol present in the dice pool that represents an action you can do, you can choose to spend those dice. Dice use is not limited to the main characters. Characters can have companions too that take action during sequences. Then there's the mob. They can be enemies, allies, or neutral. Their actions are determined by a dice roll. You then refer to the book and see what they do depending on the symbol you have rolled. For example, if a ruffian rolls a boot, they move then are able to attack. Because there's combat in the game, our heroes can suffer damage. Your character sheet tells you how tough you are. Each time you get attacked, you deduct from this number if you get damage. If you suffer damage that is equal to or greater than your toughness, you suffer trauma. The first time it happens, you get a lasting scar and draw card 17 and follow the instructions. Then you create a trauma deck. From then on throughout the campaign, you draw from the top card of that deck when you suffer trauma. You can recover from that trauma after adventures or during interludes, but you can also aggravate it during choices you make in the game. There are also conditions, which can be negative or positive status effects on your character. You track these conditions with the appropriate markers. I should also mention that at the beginning of an action scene, you can choose what you want to equip. It's either a single 2-handed weapon or up to 2 one-handed weapons. You can also add 2 trinkets and up to 2 skills. You can also share potions among characters. And that was a preview of Artisans of Splendent Vale. If you're interested in a deep narrative campaign with a unique and diverse set of characters, because you want to create memories with your game group, then please do check out the Kickstarter link below. Again, I'm Ella. See you next time.